The school safety bill. If you think about the families, you can't imagine. And so, to be able to come together in 3 weeks to get all, whether it's the sheriff, the mental health counselors, educators together, get the House and the Senate, people worked hard, get the parents that came up here, that's why I'm most proud.
Shortly after you signed that bill, though, the NRA filed lawsuit against the state of Florida. Were you surprised? Did you expect that? What kind of lobbying did they do during the time?
But the most important thing you should do is always remember what our job is. Our job is to take care of our citizens. So the way I think I've thought about that's a school safety bill. Look, there's 3 branches of government: legislative, executive, and judicial. I'm going to fight for this bill. I believe it does the right thing. I believe we have to recognize that we want to protect everybody's rights, but we also want to protect our kids and our grandkids' school, and the safety of our school. I've got kids and grandkids. I want them to be safe. I want every child in this school to be safe. I'm an NRA member. I'm going to remain an NRA member. I'm going to fight for the Second Amendment, but I'm going to fight to make sure that our kids are safe in this state.
So I'm going to clarify there. You said you're going to fight for this bill. So were you a bit annoyed or upset that the NRA wasted little time to file a lawsuit against it?
Well, my job is to review the legislation I get. I mean, there are things I like in the bill. Of course, there's things I was clear on Friday I don't like in the bill, but it does the things I care about. We're going to have law enforcement. We're going to have school hardening. We're going to have mental health counselors. If you are struggling with mental illness or threatening others or yourself, you're not going to have access to a gun. Those are things I wanted in the bill. It's in that bill, and I'm going to fight for it.
But they didn't give you any heads up that they were going to file a lawsuit, I assume.
No. I didn't talk to them.
Well, you probably had one of your most successful sessions while you've been governor this year. Just 2 things on that. One, do you think the prospect of an election year and the possibility of you running helped? Or do you think that maybe because you had maybe a more slightly larger agenda this year that also helped? Do you have any idea as to why this year was so much better than maybe some of your other years?
I'll leave all that to the pundits. What I've tried to do in this 8 years is think every year, what can I get done for the citizens of the state? We all love our families. I have 5 grandsons in this state, and they're going to grow up in this state. I want it to be a great state for them. I want it to be a great state for every family in our state. In this job, I had the opportunity to travel the state and talk to families, and I try to listen to them and say what's important to them, and that's what I try to do with my legislation every year. But this was a great year. The House and the Senate came together. Everybody worked for families. So I'm really proud of what we did. I'm proud of what we did on higher education. I'm proud of what we did on K-12 education. I'm proud of what we did on the school safety bill.
How close are you to making an announcement on your political future?
Well, as you all know, I've tried to do this job. I always think, typical politicians think about their next job. I'm focused on this job. I'm glad we had a very successful session. I'll think about my future, in the next few weeks.
All right, guys, we'll take one more.
Student funding. The superintendent said you take out the $400 million, and the base student allocation is only 47-cent increase, and that's not enough to cover expenses for schools.
What I've tried to do every year since I came in is try to put more money into education. If you look at the amount we've been able to increase year after year, it's significant. I fought for it again this year. We do have more money for our students this year, but this year was an important year to listen to these parents, listen to these families, and focus on school safety, and that's what we did.
Thanks.
All right, thank you guys
everybody.
so much.